and good evening, good afternoon, good morning, wherever you are in the world. Welcome to NoChaNoMa, Simon's Living Room, and a very big welcome to my friend Ingrid. Hello, Ingrid. Nice to see you.
Hi there. Nice to be here.
This is Ingrid, all the way from up the road in Holland. But for those who haven't seen the advert and not quite sure why, but Ingrid is a Japanese specialist, and we're going to find out how and why and more on the show today. So, Ingrid,
Yes.
What is it about Japan? What got you first interested in Japan, shall I say?
I was in middle school, in Dutch kind of high school in the 80s, and then Japan was a big economic power.
Mm.
I studied only languages. Math is not my thing. So when I wanted to go to university, and I got interested by a teacher of Dutch studies, literature, and he taught about haiku.
Ah, yes.
And I liked it. I liked the idea, and it got me interested into Japanese culture. And then I applied for entrance of the Japanese studies in University of Leiden.
Mm.
And it
so
took me
this
6 years.
This is a specific course. They actually have, and this course still exists.
Yes.
Oh, right.
It's kind of it's one of the most popular language studies at the moment, because a lot of people are interested in anime and manga.
Mm-hmm.
Back in the 80s, it didn't exist then, so I'm not a specialist of that, but a lot of people are interested in Japan lately.
So, doing this course and studying Japanese, were you then able to, for example, read the original haiku in Japanese?
Yeah, sure.
And was there? I mean, did you notice a difference? I mean, it's a slight tangent here, but did you notice any difference between the translated versions and the original versions?
The problem we have with the way we write, it's about syllables.
Syllables, yeah.
Syllables. And you can write in Japanese language with the characters, because one character has one pronunciation, but it has a big meaning. So in 575 syllables, you can explain much more than in English or in Dutch. So we are always lacking behind with our language too. But there are a lot of people who are specialized in it, and they do a great job. But I think it's hard for me to translate that exactly 575.
I mean, I've read Basho's haikus and in Dutch. And I kind of get the sense that it's not quite, it's missing a little something. It's not quite have the same. Yeah.
Because the Japanese language is much richer in meaning because of the alphabet, because of the way that they write.
So you did your studies in Japanese. When did you decide? Right, and I'm now going to go to Japan. I really must go. Was that sort of partway through the course, or did you wait till the end of the course, or?
No. It is. There were two options for students to go to Japan back then. One was getting a money from the government. How do you call that? A scholarship. But then you had to do a test and had to be really A grade or higher, whatever. But I wasn't. Or you could go apply for 1 year to Orandamura, which was a little Dutch village. It's now Huis ten Bosch in Nagasaki. It's a big park, but then it was a bit smaller. And then
is that where they've got all the Dutch style buildings?
Sure, yeah. But it started with Orandamura, And I know people who've been there and they had a great time, but it was not my thing to go there for a year and then dress up like Frau Antje or the lady who
right, you
serves.
had to do it like that. Okay.
Yeah,
I thought it was just, you just lived there, but no, you've got to play at being Dutch for the Japanese.
Yeah,
All
and
right,
serve
okay.
cheese and be a tulip girl and.
You spent your day in clogs.
Yeah, obviously, yeah. But I got the chance in 1989. There was a teacher of ours, and her friends lived in Kyoto, and it was a French-Japanese couple. And to avoid the heat in Kyoto, which is, I mean, it's terrible in summer, they always went back to France. And that teacher of ours, she occupies the house then, or taking care of the cats. But that year she couldn't, so she asked some students, do you want to go to Kyoto and live in a real Kyoto house watching cats? And together with two friends, we were like, yeah, well, this is a once in a lifetime chance. So we went there. And we didn't have a lot of money, and Japan was very, very expensive at that time. So we stayed there for a month, but we had a house and we ate noodles, the instant noodles.
Whereabouts in Kyoto? Do you remember which part?
Yeah, it's Kitazo-no-cho. It's a bit in the north.
All right, yeah.
And we had bicycles. We bike through the city.
Oh, nice.
And we explored very much nightlife in Kyoto. We were 20, 21, 22. So it was a nice experience.
So you've been to Pontacho and Gion and places like that.
Sure. Yeah, it was nice, but it didn't really improve my Japanese.
But yeah, staying in Kyoto for free for a month. Yeah,
exactly.
So and your experiences there obviously then sort of set you, made you want to go again more.
Yeah, sure. And then after I graduated, I started working for Yakult. The little bottles. With,
right, I'm just going. For those watching, I'm going to try and find. This is where we are. I shall go. This is Ingrid in 1989.
Yeah.
Happy that she's outside Heian-ko, in the Heian Palace, the Imperial Palace, and jumping for joy that she's there.
Yeah.
I was going to say, are these the friends that you stayed in the house with, or some of them?
Yeah. But also people we met over there, and it was a group of kind of a very international group of people back then. Some lived there, some were visiting or studying in Kyoto, and this was nice. My first real karaoke, of course. Kind of karaoke.
And we were just talking there about you worked for Yakult. So here we are. Yeah. This is Yakult in Japan. So it was introduced. It's a Japanese product. Or is
Yakult is originally a Japanese product. I think in 1931 it was developed by a scientist.
We're just getting a hello from another Dutch viewer. This is Ellen. Okay. She was with me at Shinichi's meetup. Hi, Ellen.
Hi, Ellen.
So yes, sorry to interrupt, but yes. Hang on, I'll go back to that one. So it was developed in Japan. So what was your connection to it? You worked for them?
Yeah, well, I was introduced to a Japanese person, when I graduated, to a Japanese person who was going to set up Yakult in Europe. And I didn't hear. I mean, I didn't know what the company was like, and I looked it up. I mean, there was no internet back then, so. And it was something with lactic acid bacteria, and I was like, what are they? But I had Japanese friends, and I went to them and I said, well, I can go for a interview for Yakult. And they were like, really, oh my God, Yakult, Yakuruto. Yeah. It's like, for Dutch people, we are grown up with kalfe pindakaas, peanut butter, kalfe.
Yeah.
It's that connotation they have in Japan. Yakult is so part of everyday life. So that kind of made me feel, well, it's a well-known Japanese company.
Yeah. And so what happened next?
Well, I started working there together with what was the director of that time, but it was just the two of us for 1.5 years, because I mean, really build up from scratch. And that's also where I really got fluent in my Japanese, because I needed it every day. But it's not learning Japanese. You don't learn a profession or a job, or how do you call that? So within Yakult, communication and PR became my profession.
So you what kept things moving smoothly between the Europeans and the Japanese.
Yeah.
The go between.
Basically,
yeah. Because I mean, there's a YouTuber who's got a friend on Facebook, and she specializes. She's American. She specializes in Japanese business, explaining Japanese business relations to Western companies. So I mean, I imagine there was quite a balancing act. It must have been.
Yeah, but I think the man who set up the business in Europe, he was more an international Japanese person, because he was already from Mexico and Brazil, and so he kind of made it an international company from the very beginning. But then I switched to Albert Heijn. Maybe it's the biggest retailer in Holland.
I shopped there last week.
Yeah. Yes. But there are not so many Japanese people working there, and they don't have a connection. Really. They're not in Japan.
No, it's generally, if it had been Family Mart or Lawson's or something like that, but you'd have been a bit.
But it was for me. I have my Japanese, and then with Albert Heijn, I got more into communication and PR, because that was my job. And then I came back to Yakult, because the guy who set it up, he called me and he said, well, we have a European office now. Do you want to come back to set up the European corporate communication department? And that's what I did.
Oh, brilliant. So is that what you're still doing, or
No. Actually, I got self-employed in 2006, and I worked for Dutch companies only. And then in, I think, around 2010, 11, I started social media in Japanese.
Yes, your YouTube channel you told me about. Yes.
Yeah, and Twitter, and so then I got my Japanese back. And in 2012, I was like, I have to go back to Japan, because I missed it. And then I was hooked again. So since then, I've been there every year. Every year?
Oh, I mean, I've managed. I had to skip last year, financial reasons and time and whatnot, and other reasons. But this year, I'm hoping to go back. So, but yes, it's still expensive in Japan.
Yeah, it's just but I had I do work for Dutch companies still, but I have more and more Japanese how do you call that, jobs. Like I wrote an anniversary book for Yanmar, which is a big diesel company in Japan, and they were 25 years in Europe, and they wanted their history written down. So I visited the headquarters in Osaka. So I mean, that's also so I combine job related things with, well,
yes, I remember you saying, so you just take your computer with you, because you're going to be there for 3 months, aren't you, or something? Or
I leave in March, and then I come back in May. Yeah.
So so and it's a combination then, therefore, of work and pleasure. This visit.
Sure. Oh, cool. I'm also what you call a digital nomad at this moment, because I can do my work wherever there is internet. So that's nice. And it allows me to go away for such a long time. Because that's also during my study, I had not the opportunity to live in Japan for a longer period.
Just that 1 year. Yeah. 1 year is still quite a long time. I mean, a lot of people will be quite envious living there for a year. But yes, if you were planning to stay for longer, yes, it's you need something.
No, but I didn't even stay for 1 year. It was 2 months that I was there. And I got married, I got children and jobs, and there was always things that kept me in reasons I kept me in Holland. But now my children are grown up, so I can go for a longer period.
Great.
But I don't want to stay forever in Japan because I really hate the summers.
Yes, I mean I've not been in summer, and that's on purpose.
Yeah.
It's I mean I should go perhaps once just to sort of experience it and find out whether I can, because having said that, summer's here. I mean, all right, it's not as humid, but I mean when I was sat in my living room this summer and it was nearly 40 degrees, and people in Japan were saying, "Oh, it's 35 here, it's 32." I think it's 40 degrees on my settee. So I might be able to cope with it, you never know.
Well, the thing is probably because summer has its own atmosphere. I think a friend of mine who's Japanese, he said, I hate the heat in summer in Japan, but I miss the atmosphere with the matsuri and the fireworks,
odoris and all
exactly,
that.
Exactly. Yeah. So there's every season in Japan has its own atmosphere.
I've only been in spring and autumn, so I've still got to do summer and winter.
Winter is great. We just spent 2 months last year in the north of Fukushima City. Yeah, well.
This is Kyoto, by the way. This is
That's Kyoto, and that's another story. That was we had New Year's in Kyoto from 2014 to 2015. And on the 1st of January, it started to snow, and it didn't stop. And it was magical. We walked through the city, which was because it was the 1st of January, and with Oshogatsu. So when it's New Year's, everybody celebrates. The shops are closed. There are hardly any restaurants open. And we were just walking through the city in this serene atmosphere of falling snow and no noises, and it was magical.
No, I'd love to try that.
But don't go in winter to Kyoto because it's seldom that it snows there. They told us it was 65 years ago. So that day it was really a history book day. But if you go up north, I mean, we went to Tohoku last year, so Fukushima Prefecture. There was a lot of snow.
And Nagano as well, north of Tokyo, sort of, and those areas, the Japanese Alps. So they get it as well.
Sure. Yeah. And that's also magical. It's really nice. It's really nice. Cold, but nice.
Yes. But then, of course, I mean, when it's cold, they have the onsen and so on, just to
exactly. Exactly.
An outdoor onsen in winter. That I would quite like that. I'd like to try that.
We were staying in an old. It was from the 80s, but a typical Japanese house. And the heating was oil heater. And one night the oil was finished. And it was -8, so it was tough one night, but for the rest we could manage.
That reminds me of my student days. Yes,
it's not Heineken, and it's not alcohol. It's 0.0. But I'm joining you with some drinks.
Kanpai.
Kanpai. ちょっと待って.
So I've just looked at my notes that you sent me. Let's just go back to. I mean, now you're back in Holland, and obviously I'm interested in Japan, and I've been searching around when I can't go to Japan for things related to Japan, and there's not a great deal in Belgium or Holland. But one particular thing is where you studied, or close to where you studied, and that's the and I made a video of it the other few months ago. That's the von Siebold Museum in Leiden.
Siebold House, right?
Siebold House, yeah. And what's your connection there? I mean,
well, it's the only Japan, or it's a museum completely dedicated to Japan and Japanese culture and Japanese art. And for instance, last year when I was in Japan, do you know the March 3rd? It's Hina Matsuri. It's the
Hina Matsuri with the
Girls' Day. Yeah. And Siebold House asked me to give a presentation on March 3rd about Hina Matsuri. So when I was in Japan, I collected all the items. I had some interviews, and then I could give there a presentation. So I do things with Siebold House and for Siebold House. And actually, but that's not related to me. They just opened a very nice exposition this week. It's called Neko, cat, and it's about the cat in Japanese art. So if you are in the position to go to Siebold House in Leiden, then I really would recommend to go there, because it's a really nice exposition.
There you are, Ellen, if you're still watching. I mean, you're the closest besides me. If you've not already been, I would recommend it. I mean, it's probably easy to get to and quicker to get to than from my place. But yes, they have a nice exhibition room upstairs. Is that where it is on the upstairs?
Exactly.
Part?
Yeah.
Because the downstairs is the permanent exhibition, isn't it? Yeah, that's right.
Yeah, that's all the stuff that von Siebold collected, took from Japan and brought it to Europe.
I mean, I was amazed at some of the maps, for example, from that period, pre-Meiji period maps, and so on. That's so it's well worth a look. And the stuffed animals are quite interesting.
Exactly. I think all parts of nature that is he dried it, or I don't know what he did, but he brought it back here. Yeah, I was told that it's just a tiny part what you see in the museum of what he really brought. So the rest is stored somewhere else.
And of course, his wife and his daughter as well. I mean, because they stayed in Japan. He came back because he was kicked out, basically. Yeah. But I think I mentioned it in my video about his daughter becoming a surgeon to the emperor, or something like that. That was I found that quite interesting. That it was a shame that there wasn't much more to do with her in there as well. It's all about von Siebold, really. I mean, there's lots of Japanese stuff because he brought it all back, so you can see that. And if you know a little bit about the history of Japan, it's cool to see this stuff, but it would have been nice if they had a little bit more. Do they have kind of like exchange exhibitions with Japan? Does stuff from there go to Japan, or
I don't know. No, I don't know. Maybe no. I don't know.
But only like these special exhibitions, because I remember the last one was an engraver or an etcher.
Something.
Yeah. Lots of pictures of roofs.
But the funny thing is, if you go to Japan and you ask Japanese people about Siebold, everybody knows. He's in the history books of Japanese schools.
Oh, right.
So, but ask a random Dutch person about von Siebold, and he or she will probably say, sorry.
Yeah. Ah, here we have. I was talking before. Friend of John Daub. Nosh is here. Hello, Nosh. We were talking about you before. It's very early in the morning. He's probably propping his eyes up in San Francisco there.
Yeah.
But yes, I mean, here in Belgium, we've got basically the Japanese garden in Hasselt.
Yeah.
And that's about it. So I ran out of things to make vlogs about Japan. So I have to look further afield. Well, I mean, I'm close to Germany and France, so maybe they've got something, but I haven't investigated that yet. Do you know any Japanese sort of museums and stuff sort of in bordering countries?
If you go to Düsseldorf, it's called Little Tokyo. There is this area where a lot of Japanese people live, but you also find lots of restaurants and shops. I mean, it's nice. It's nice.
I shall have to look on the map and see how long it takes to drive there, or go by train.
No, by train. Düsseldorf, it's not that far.
3 hours or something like that.
Yeah, something like that. Yeah.
Yeah. One of these days, live from Düsseldorf.
Yeah.
If my Wi-Fi will work. So yes, that's the Siebold Museum. So anybody, I mean, Ellen says she watched the vlog, and hopefully Nosh has watched the vlog as well. Probably, I don't know how. I hope so. I hope my viewers watch my videos. But it's well worth a visit, definitely. Yes.
Yeah, and especially the cat thing. It's really nice. It's really nice.
Yes, because it's. I mean, I know about the Manakaneko, the waving cat.
Yeah, there are a lot of Manakaneko there.
Yeah, but there's more to it. I mean, there's more to the
Yeah, it's really. I think from very much way back, people in Japan love and adore cats, and that you can it shows in the art.
I remember, yes, there's a ukiyo-e picture, or pre-ukiyo-e picture of the characteristics of the Japanese as personified by cats. Some artist, I can't remember.
Oh,
yeah, I'd have to look it up. But yes, he drew sort of Japanese characters.
Yeah.
This isn't a sweepstakes. You mean this isn't a sweepstakes? What are you talking about, Nosh? This isn't a sweepstakes. You're on the wrong show. You're on the wrong program. I'm sorry, you've clicked on the wrong thing. So when you go in March, I mean, you have a specific itinerary? Because I was asking you before whether you've got everything all planned. You worked it all out.
Well, the good thing is that I've three children, and 2 of them are joining me.
Oh, nice. Wish mine would.
My son, his girlfriend is also coming. My other daughter, unfortunately, has to stay here because of her studies. But I'm sure, I mean, she'll be in Japan very soon, I think. So the first 2 weeks I'll be traveling with them from Tokyo to Osaka. And then,
just like showing them, this is this is that, this is the other.
Yeah. And then they fly back from Osaka. And then a friend from Holland flies in, and then we travel back to Osaka, to Tokyo. And then from April 1st, I will settle in Izaka Onsen in the north of Fukushima City. Very lovely wellness town.
Yeah, so I was telling you before, I've not been to that area, but it's from the pictures that I've seen on Instagram, it looks very nice. Very
it's amazing. It's
picturesque.
Amazing prefecture. Yeah. It sure is.
Yeah. I mean,
I think.
I was going to. Yeah, sorry, carry on.
It was 2017, so 2.5 years ago, that I was in Fukushima for the first time in the prefecture. And because of the disaster in 2011, also with the nuclear power center that has the same name. I mean, that's the problem. So
everybody thinks Fukushima. I'm not going there. It's radioactive, but it's an entire prefecture.
Exactly. So when it all happened, I mean, Fukushima prefecture is really big. It's a very big, one of the biggest prefectures in Japan. Very much agricultural oriented, and a lot of high quality products, which were sold over all of Japan, suddenly could not be sold anymore because people didn't just buy things from Fukushima because of the name Fukushima.
Mm.
Although it was perfectly safe. So I was able to travel a bit around the prefecture and talk to people, fishermen people, people who were growing fruits. And they're getting there. I mean, they're very strong.
Yes, it's coming back. The sort of the trust in the product is coming back. Yeah.
The years after the disaster was terrible because they couldn't sell the product. So but the nature is stunning. It's really it's a beautiful prefecture, and because it has the seaside and a kind of middle, which is not that mountainous.
Mountainous. Yeah.
So which is where all the orchards are of the kaki and the mikan and the apples. And then you also have the mountainous part near Aizu, Wakamatsu, which is it's amazing over there.
Yes, I saw the photograph on Instagram with the gorge, with all the trees changing color and the waterfall in the background. That looks fantastic. I mean,
actually, we were in a car back then, and we were like, "Oh, we have to stop on the road just to take this picture because it was amazing. It was really beautiful."
And in terms of, for example, I mean, I like ease when I'm traveling in Japan. I get stressed out if I can't Google Map it and get all my answers. Hello, Roy Lee. Roy Lee, subscribe to my channel from Mizuho. Hi, Ingrid, she says.
Oh, that's Mizuho. Konnichiwa. It's a friend from Japan.
Hajimemashite. But yes, is it? I mean, getting when I'm there, it's pretty simple. I usually have all my Shinkansen times worked out before I go, and getting on the metro is dead easy. And I think I only once ever used a bus, and all the rest is just if it's a little bit more difficult, then I mean. But I imagine Fukushima. You say it's mostly rural, mostly like agricultural. So what's it like getting around? Do you have to have a sort of you have to be slightly more adventurous, or is it fairly simple?
No, it's not. There is not so many English translations as in Tokyo, but I mean the Shinkansen stops in Fukushima City and then goes all the way to Sendai, and there are just, I mean, it's Japan, so public transport is excellent. Yeah. Even smallest places have their own train station. It's easy. It's easy. We had to take the bus every now and then, but even the buses are easy.
Yes, I mean, I used Google Maps on the bus, and that worked. It was in Shibuya, and now obviously with the translate function, you can just hold it up and translate what's on the front of the bus, so you're all right. That's good.
Yeah.
Being very lazy.
Yeah, but I mean, Google Maps even they now I think they show real time where the buses are.
Oh yeah, so you know where you are, where to get off, and sort of thing. Yes, that's right.
Exactly. So it's as long as you have your pocket Wi-Fi with you or your SIM card, then traveling around in Japan is lovely. It's I really like it.
Yes, it's sometimes even better than here. I would say. I mean, and certainly in terms of cleanliness on the trains, for example.
Yeah, and punctuality.
Nosh is saying it even shows the cost, sort of the cost of your travel, how much it would cost, using Google Maps.
Yeah, exactly. So that's what I do if I make my my planning for the trip, and then I calculate whether it would be better to have a GR rail pass or just buy the tickets. Because sometimes,
I was thinking, you're going for 3 months. Would you get the rail pass? I always get the rail pass, and so it pays off if I do my Shinkansen travel with it.
Yeah.
But otherwise,
I think for the first 2 weeks, because we are staying a few days in Tokyo, we're staying a few days in Kyoto, then it's not paying off to have a rail pass. But I think the 2 weeks thereafter, because also I will also traveling to Fukushima, then it will pay off. But I'm staying in Fukushima or Isaka Onsen for 1.5 months, so then it's not worth to have a
rail pass. Yeah,
rail pass. So only when you really know that you're going to have a trip, to make a trip far away.
Yeah, I mean, for me, it's indispensable. I mean, people have said to me, people in Japan have said, oh, you could try flying, for example, flying from Tokyo to Yamaguchi, and I thought, no, it's like, okay, it might be sort of slightly cheaper than the Shinkansen, but for me, it would be more problematic, having to get to the airport and.
It's not it, but it's the whole experience in the Shinkansen. When it's so comfortable, even for me. I mean, I'm 6'1". Is that how you call it in English?
Tall.
Or 6 feet tall. 6.1 feet.
Yeah.
Tall. But I have no problem just getting my legs in.
Yes. There's in an airplane.
Yes.
you're very cramped up. Yes, that's true.
Yeah, but the Shinkansen, it's very comfortable. And we always get the ekiben. The ekiben.
Yes, I always get that as well.
The bento box with that you can buy at the station. I mean, it's a highlight in itself.
Yes.
If you go to Japan, traveling in the Shinkansen is a highlight in itself.
And did you, as a bizarre side note, and the voice, the English voice of the Shinkansen is also a voice actress from one of my favorite video games. That's quite nice. The Shinkansen will be stopping at. Please.
No. Well. Okay.
There you are. I mean,
nice to know.
Just to know. I mean,
yeah.
It's like, this shit sounds familiar,
No, I'm not into games. Sorry.
No, well, sorry, but yes, but I mean, for those interested, if you play Metal Gear Solid, and the latest Metal Gear Solid game, and you hear the voice, a woman's voice, it's her.
You even checked it.
Yeah, well. I also watch Japan Railway Journal on NHK.
Yeah.
And she was a guest last month. So that was
okay. Then I get it. Yeah. Yeah, but it's and Tohoku itself, because it's not only Fukushima but also Yamagata, Akita, Aomori. It's really beautiful Japan.
Yes, it's an area, like I say, I've done the middle.
Yeah.
And I've missed off Kyushu, and I missed off Hokkaido and Shikoku, and a huge chunk of the north. But I mean, the shamisen girls that I'm friends with, they originally came from Akita, of that area, and moved to Tokyo to be more successful, which is obviously. But I mean, I'd be quite curious, because Suguru shamisen obviously comes from Tsuguru, which is in Aomori.
Yeah.
And so that I'd be quite interested in seeing that place.
Yeah, I really do. We've been there last year. It's a very nice place.
No, she's asking, is this like Peter von Gogh being the voice of ANA and narrating many? Yes, sort of. Yes, it's she's an Australian woman, but who has been living in Japan for 17 years or something, and she's a voice actress, and so she got used by the game company, and she does, and also Japanese railways to do the Shinkansen voice. So.
Yeah. Once you hear the voice of Peter, you recognize him in Japan too.
Yeah. I think did you meet him, Nosh? I mean, because Nosh has been to Japan, goes to Japan regularly as well, and bumps into these people and appears on their shows and stuff. So
yeah.
Mm.
Yeah, I like to see the Peter and John videos when they go together exploring part of Tokyo.
Nosh says yes. They hung out with Peter Von Gogh in Asakusa.
Yeah.
Cool.
Yeah, they're nice.
Yes, that's. I mean, I met sort of Eric Surf 6. Do you know Eric Surf 6? Like, no. There we are. So, who else did I meet? Give me a break, man. No. This is a good question. I mean, now that you because you started social media in Japanese on YouTube, for example, I got interested in Japan through finding out about Japanese vloggers, vloggers, non-Japanese living in Japan and vlogging about Japan. But I imagine because you started your Twitter and your and other things in Japanese, that you didn't encounter that you encountered more Japanese people and less, for example, J vloggers and such like. I mean, are you familiar with any J vloggers at all?
No.
So it was mostly Japanese people that you interacted with.
Yeah.
So yes, I would say that your experience then is with Japan is I wouldn't say, but maybe purer than
Purer.
Yeah, and more direct. There's a lot of people who subscribe, who watch John Daub, for example, and that's their connection with Japan, if you see what I mean.
Yeah, I see. The thing is, I speak the language. That's also it's taking so many hurdles away.
Yes, you're able to sort of get behind the omotenashi surface. Tatemai, yes.
Yeah, and I must say, really, people are always because I did some I wrote articles about Japan and I did interviews, for instance, about tiny houses, and people are really, really friendly, and the moment that they know that they can talk in their own language, they they open up. Then I don't encounter the tatemai that much.
This is you in the tiny house, isn't it?
Yeah, that's me in the tiny house together with Sao San, her husband, and a friend. And that was about the house, huh? I mean, it was not really bigger than that. But she built it. The lady in the middle, she built it with her own hands. Really, I was amazed.
So, it's Nagasaki, yeah.
Yeah, that's the Megane bridge. The Megane is glasses.
Yes, because when you see it in the reflection
exactly. Yeah, Nagasaki has, of course, it's a very international city, and of course it has Deshima, where the Dutch were located for so many years. And it was a really, really special place, also with its own atmosphere. I'm not used to encounter churches, but in Nagasaki, you just walk along the street, and then there is this big white church. And
yes, I mean, obviously, because Christianity came with the Portuguese in the 16th century, didn't it? With Francis Xavier.
I don't know.
He established a church in Yamaguchi, which is why I know these things. But I mean, it was Nagasaki and was a big area for the early Japanese Christians. Yeah.
But also, we were in a temple, and it was completely built by Japanese immigrants, Chinese immigrants in Nagasaki. So it is really a more Chinese feeling than the normal, Buddhist temples that you see in Japan. And there is also kind of Chinatown in Nagasaki. It's a really from many centuries ago a really international city because of the port, of course, but really nice.
Well, I was tempted to go on my last visit, but I went to Onomichi instead, which is in Hiroshima Prefecture. But Nagasaki is just quite a little bit too. It's right at the end of Honshu. But I mean, more or less.
No, it's not. It's on Kyushu.
Kyushu, sorry, yes, no, it's even further. It's on Kyushu. It's on the top end of Kyushu. But it was just what appealed to me about it, what I saw about it before I went, is all the little tiny hillside streets that it's got, and that looked so cozy and inviting, and that's why I went to Onomichi, because I was looking for something easier to get to. And that sort of emulated that, and it did. It's very nice. Yeah.
Nagasaki, it has its own spirit. Yeah.
Nosh is saying that the first time he went to Japan, not knowing any Japanese, was a much different and in many ways a more exciting experience versus the last time he went knowing a decent amount of Japanese. I suppose, yes. I mean, that's similar to my experience when I first moved to Belgium. I didn't know any Dutch, so every conversation that it was like trying to figure out what people. I thought people were talking about must have been talking about the most amazing things, and then it was like, oh, what was the weather like today? Oh, it was like, oh, all right. It's just regular conversations. So I suppose there's that element to it. When you go to Japan, you think, what are they talking about? It must be sort of like something really, and no, it's just like, who got it?
Yeah. But I don't know how it is not to speak Japanese and go to Japan. The thing is, people don't expect you to speak Japanese. And since I'm that tall, people start talking about you, and then you're in the train, and then you hear them saying, "Oh, she's tall," and that's nice. It's nice. I don't do anything with it. It's interesting. Once I just passed a couple who were sitting on a bench, and I heard her say, "Oh, onna desu. It's a woman." And I was like, "Oh my god!"
Do I look like just stop wearing trousers?
But my hair was shorter back then, so I grow it before I go to Japan to make sure that people
conform to their stereotypical idea of it.
Okay, well, it's interesting. And they're nice. People. I hardly meet any not nice Japanese persons.
No, just have to get out more. Going to the wrong clubs. But I mean, I think you were talking about when you were in your 20s, you were exploring the nightlife of Kyoto. Do you still? I mean, is that some an aspect of Japanese life that you still, or is that sort of something now that you would you prefer to sort of stay at home, kind of thing, while you're in Japan, or would you go out and on the town in Ikushima? In Tsukushima?
Well, in the countryside in Fukushima, there is not that much. Although last year we were invited in, it's called snaku, and you think it's a kind of snack bar like we have here in Holland, where you can. But snaku is a tiny restaurant, mostly run by one woman or one couple, where just a few people can sit, and it's for dinners and drinks and some karaoke. And we were invited there, and it's lovely, and the food is amazing because it's really that home cooking Japanese food is it's lovely.
This was in Fukushima.
Yeah, or in in Kori, the little town we were staying, and it's not that big. And they have a few restaurants, but they also have snaku. And I thought it was a kind of, like a snack bar, but it's different.
Yes, I think. I mean, you get those places in Tokyo too, in Golden Guy and Omoide Yokocho, and places like that. With all these little tiny, which I daren't go in. I can go through. I can walk through it, but going in there, because it always seems to be sort of locals sat there, and you think,
yeah.
And that was also like Pontocho. I walked down Pontocho and looking for, where can I eat, and you have the curtains there, and then a little sign outside with the menu, and it's all in Japanese. You think,
Yeah.
But you could go in there, you'd be able to read it and understand, and So
sometimes I just look myself and I'm what is this? But then I can ask, and then they can explain. So, but it's for me, it's also easy if they have the pictures with what you can choose.
I mean, you mentioned Fukushima, and do you have any favorite places? Do you think I really must go back there again, or is it all good?
Now, well, the thing is that last year we were in Korimachi, which is above Fukushima City, and then we went to Isaka Onsen, this little wellness town. And we were walking around, and also it felt so nice and cozy, and it was really old Japan, really old style. And we were really like, I want to go back there. And now I got the opportunity to stay there for 1.5 months. So that's really, it was really, when I heard that, I've been hyper and excited for a week. Cool. Still in my age, I get really, yes. That's nice. Yeah. And Aizu Wakamatsu, that's also a really nice town. It's more up in the mountains. And a real old samurai town is because there's a lot of
lots of these old buildings, wooden buildings. Yeah.
And even a samurai school where the kids of samurai families were educated. And I really want to go there, and I'm going there because I really want to go to explore that more. And another city but that's not Fukushima, that's Sendai. It's Miyagi. Sendai is also a very nice town. And I want to go to Yamadera. Do you know Yamadera?
It sounds familiar. Enlighten me and the viewers.
It's in Yamagata, and it's a little town, but you can walk up, I think, how many stairs? 1,200 maybe, all the way up to the mountains to a temple or a shrine. And we were there last year, but the stairs were so much slippery because of the snow that it was so dangerous to go up.
Oh, wait, hang on a minute. Yamadera, is that that's Shinto? Top,
probably yes.
At the top there.
Yeah. And the view must be fantastic. And I was really disappointed. We tried, but it was too dangerous. They didn't clean the stairs. I was actually a bit upset. Like, why don't you clean the stairs?
There's 1,200 of them, this little old band.
Yeah, it was. But it's not that. I mean, it's not that you entered and there was not a sign like, "Watch out, the stairs are still slippery."
Yeah, all the Japanese know this. And don't expect tourists to come along and
probably,
yeah.
And all the Japanese who were there, they have these spikes. They had spikes.
Yeah.
And we
now you know.
Stupid Dutch. We just had our slippery shoes. So yeah.
Yeah, going up Yamadera in Crocs. No.
Yeah, well, but that's. I mean, if I want to go back to a place, then Yamadera is really on my list.
I'm going to have to Google that after this because I'm curious now.
Yeah.
And obviously, particular times, like you were saying, the winter and the summer, and all have a particular atmosphere. So you're going now in spring, and you'll be there until end of spring, beginning of summer.
Yeah,
sort of thing,
middle May. Middle May.
Yeah, just before it starts to get really hot.
Yeah. I know where to when to come, and I know where exactly when to leave. No, but last year we had to leave beginning of March, and we had a really tough winter. I mean, there was a lot of snow and it was cold, but then you feel that spring is coming. So the temperature is slightly higher, but you really sense it in the air. And then we had to go back.
Oh yeah, and you miss all the cherry blossoms.
Of course, of course. Yeah. And that's the thing. I mean, all these times that I've been to Japan, I've never been in cherry blossom festival or season.
But now this is it. This is the year. Yeah.
So be prepared. If you follow me, back
just before the Olympics, which is also a sensible idea.
Yes. Yes. So, but if you follow me on Instagram, then it will be pink in April, most of the time. Yeah.
We still got people watching? I got somebody dropped away. Nosh, I think Nosh maybe have fallen asleep. Are you still there, Ellen? Rui-san? Are you still there? Sometimes our viewers ask questions, which will be good, but
but I don't see them in the screen. I'd have to see here.
Ah, yes.
Oh yeah. Okay.
So yes, your living room. I'm going to put you on the main screen because obviously your surround. Oh, that's not. That's it. There we are. You're now front and center. I mean, because there's this picture behind you with a Miko, which I'm curious about. Where is that?
The picture is in Kasuga Shrine in Nara.
Ah, because that's one you took yourself, or is it one you?
Yeah, no, I took myself.
Mm-hmm.
And every time I take a lot of pictures, and sometimes there are some because I have this one too. Can you see it?
With the umbrellas.
Yeah, that was also on the snowy day in Kyoto. And there is this one. Oh, the Maron man. Let me see it.
What's he doing?
Yeah, it's Nishiki Market in Kyoto.
Oh,
he sells roasted chestnuts.
Oh yeah, I walked through Nishiki Market. There's lots of strange animals. Products.
Yeah, I don't try everything, huh? There is this very red octopus.
Oh yeah, the bright sort of glossy red octopus thing on a stick.
On a stick, and apparently there is an egg in his head, and
yes, there's a baby octopus. Apparently they're very nice, but I mean, no, that and raw sea cucumber, no, thank you.
Yeah.
Just no.
And
the food is amazing.
I have this one. This is kokeshi.
Mm-hmm.
And because kokeshi are originally from Tohoku, from that area. And we went to vintage stores, or how do you say it, secondhand stores.
Mm-hmm.
And we bought them. You can buy them new. I mean, you can even go to a shop and make your own kokeshi.
Mm-hmm.
But we made a sport out of it to go to those secondhand shops and then find kokeshi
original
from yeah. So this is we had a kind of we bought a whole family of Tohoku girls, we call them Tohoku girls.
I like the Hinamatsuri dolls. I mean, I'd quite like the Emperor and Empress Matsuri doll. That would be nice to have. Yeah.
And this one, I have it. When we were in this is a rabbit dressed for a coming of age day.
Ah, yes, with the furisode.
Yes. And this was a neighborhood, or a neighbor where we lived in Kori. She came to the door and she said, we went to a place where they were making these kind of things, and people noticed us, of course. And she said, the lady who made this wants you to have it. So she was at our door.
Very nice.
Yeah, it's lovely. It's hand, and it's all handmade. So
wow,
it's really really nice. So that's my living room is full of these kind of Japanese gifts and things we bought ourselves.
And you say your children are coming with you this time. So are they developing a similar sort of passion, or is it not transferred to the next generation?
I'm afraid they love sushi. They love Japanese food because I mean they get it from age 0.
Yeah.
But well, it was not. I was not able to bring them earlier, so it's really a kind of dream come true for me to show them the country I love so much. So I'm 100% positive that after this trip they will be back.
Great. I mean, I'd love to take my 2. I mean, that it's just a question of the cost.
Well, wait until they have their own jobs and they can pay their own tickets.
Yes, or at least yes, the flight ticket. If they could pay for their own flight tickets, and then I would help them with the rest.
That's how I do it.
Around as well, I mean, they know all about this, that, and the other about Japan. I don't bore them with it. Luckily. But yes, I've been around Akihabara for looking for a game figure. That's about the only other time I went to Akihabara was for that.
No, I've never been there even.
Well,
I think I will go. I mean, I've never been to things like the Monster Cafe or these kind of stuff.
Yeah, all sort of like
or Robot Cafe. What is it?
Yeah.
But I think I have to go this time.
Just to say, I mean, been done it.
Yeah. Because they want to go. They even want to go do the Mario Kart.
No. Oh no. Oh dear.
I'm not sure whether I mean, it was one of the possibilities. So, but then I said, well, I just stay in a restaurant and drink my coffee, and you go.
You do that, yeah.
And then I pretend that you're not family. So.
No, I think for me, Tokyo is the main attraction. I mean, I just love that city. I mean, obviously, it would be nice to go and explore other areas, but I kind of have this. I've been to Amsterdam, I've been to London, not been to New York, been to other big cities. So I have a sort of in various places in Rome, in Italy, but I just find Tokyo just has something special. I don't know.
It's amazing city. Every time when I go there, I have to get used to the it's overwhelming.
Yes, when you get out to go to the robot cafe, don't go. I would not go about 7:30 at night, because then coming out of Shinjuku Station is like.
Yeah. But I even like Shinjuku Station because one of the first times that I stayed a bit longer in Tokyo, it was near Shinjuku Station, so I had to figure it out. So I know my way in Shinjuku Station. In Shibuya, I get lost.
Yes, and I did. I looked for the Hachiko entrance. The Hachiko entrance that way. Like took 30 minutes later. Came back to the same spot, Hachiko entrance. Oh, how do I get out?
Yeah, and I once tried from one side of Tokyo Station go underground and then go up on the other side.
Ah, yeah.
Well, that somehow we got lost.
Yeah, so between
And it took
Marunouchi and
us-
Yesu, it's like,
Yes.
and if you've got to
yes.
catch your Shinkansen to get back to the airport, it's a bit of a,
Yeah. But but Tokyo is one of a kind.
Yes, for all those who've not been, I would recommend. Well, you more or less you always tend to go there when you're flying there. I mentioned your friends are flying back from Osaka, so Kansai International, the one built under that one.
Yeah.
Yeah. So that's, but from here, I don't know about from Holland, but from here, there's no direct flights to those places. You always have to go. I thought, if there's a direct flight there, I could go there. It would cut my travel time to Yamaguchi in half. Blah blah blah. No, you fly to Haneda or you fly to Narita, and then you get a connecting flight to Osaka.
No, KLM has direct flights to Osaka.
Ah, that's
so
good.
that's yeah. They used to have to Fukuoka, but that they canceled them. But yeah, it's very handy because you can get in Narita and then fly back from Kansai.
Oh, I've got one of my American viewers. Hi, Ty. We're just at the end. I'm sorry, Ty.
Well, we can go on. I mean,
go on a little bit. Yes. Because Ty. I mean, I think everybody. I don't know. Well, Roy Lee obviously has been to Japan. She lives there.
She lives in Japan. She lives in Japan.
Yeah. Nosh has been to Japan. Ty's been to Japan. Ellen, I don't know if Ellen's still here. Have you been to Japan, Ellen? But yes, it's definitely it sort of it grows on you. It catches you. I mean, you've been into Japan since 1989 or before, from school basically. Whereas I only really got into it at the age of 47 by accident. Yeah. But it kind of like, it catches you.
Yeah. Yeah, it's what I found out also, people studying the language, is either you hate it or you love it. And recently more people love it because I mean, so many people going to Japan and they come back and it was like, wow, mind blowing.
Oh, Ellen's been to Tokyo, so she would agree with me that it's a brilliant place.
Yeah. It's yeah, I could live there. And maybe I will someday.
That's future plans, living in Japan.
Well, and you can buy those abandoned houses, right?
That's right.
The Akiya.
Yeah. You'll end up moving to Japan, and all your neighbors will be Dutch.
Yeah, well.
Hotver.
Yeah. Yeah, no, I will live in Inaka in the countryside. So, but that's a dream. I mean, you have to keep dreaming, right? So,
it's cheap.
Maybe someday.
Yeah, do that way. It's cheap.
But it would be nice if I'm in Isaka Onsen to get on your show live to show you where I'm staying and what the
we'll coordinate with that, and because there will be a live stream from and outside the onsen. There'll be no live streams from in the onsen. It'll be outside the onsen. Just to clarify that.
Definitely. The city is called, or the place is called Isaka Onsen. It's a wellness village.
We'll coordinate because I'm free to change the time of this, so we could do it so that when there's daylight and Ingrid go around and live stream from the town itself during daylight hours.
Oh, yeah, because at the time in Japan it's dark, right?
It's 8 hours different. But the show starts here at 8:30 in the evening in Japan, so it's pitch black.
Yeah.
Even though you'll be there in April, it still gets dark quite early.
Yeah.
So,
around this time, it means.
Yeah. So I might have to get up very early in the morning and to do a live stream.
Well, that would be nice. Also for the people from America, that they have a reasonable time.
Yes. So we'll coordinate that.
Yeah, that would be nice.
So you heard it here first. Live from Japan. Cool.
Yeah.
Well, I think that about wraps it up. Unless there's anybody in the audience that'd like to ask Ingrid a question, we shall give them a minute or two to react.
Yeah.
Is there anything you would like to ask Ingrid?
No, not really.
No. Okay. Cool.
It's I have to look at my iPad to see who's online.
Yes, it's not quite like John Daub's live stream where the comments just fly past.
Yeah, I see.
Well, if there are no questions, I would like to thank Ingrid very much for taking time out of her day to join me on the show.
Well, you're welcome. It was nice.
And I hope you did enjoy it. Yes.
Yeah.
And next week on the Simon NoChaNoMa show, it's a mystery again. and unless I can come up with a guest between now and next week, it'll be me again. One day I'll get back to trying doing an outdoor live stream, but it's miserable weather at the moment. So until that time, it'll be me again in the living room. So I'd like to thank Ingrid for joining us, and you, the audience, for joining me, and those watching after the event. Thank you for watching, and I hope you enjoyed the show, and see you all again. No questions from you, Ellen. Okay. Okay. See you all again next week. Thanks, Ingrid.
Okay, thanks
everyone.
Bye-bye. Bye-bye.